I want to talk about a story that just came out in USA Today. May 22nd, Supreme Court ruling wipes out Republican-drawn House districts in North Carolina. The Supreme Court ruled Monday that racial considerations pervaded the way North Carolina lawmakers drew congressional maps after the 2010 census in order to maximize Republicans' advantage. This is racial gerrymandering, basically. What the North Carolina legislators did in 2010, a lot of state legislatures became more Republican. And what they did is they drew lines basically assuming the majority of black people are going to vote Democrat. So they then made this like a whole district where there's black people, a Democratic district, and then kept other districts primarily white, which are going to lean more Republican, especially in the South, rather than drawing the district line that has, blacks and whites and could be spread up evenly. Then they could just cordon these ones off and then make the majority of the rest of them white and Republican. So by doing that, here's what happened. Those changes helped change the state's congressional delegation from 7-6 Democratic in 2010 to 10-3 Republican in 2016, which was a good strategy for them. They made it, so this is Republican, how the Republicans gerrymander, they do it by race. Democrats do gerrymandering by progressives. They crush progressives in their gerrymandering and they do it in the primaries. But the Republicans are way more overtly racist. Why the Supreme Court fell on this side, this is interesting, is the Voting Rights Act of 1965 requires that states draw districts enabling African Americans to elect their chosen representatives, lest black voters be spread too thinly across district lines. 2 decades ago, Democrats used the law to demand so-called majority-minority districts. Since Republicans took over many state legislatures in 2010, they have drawn districts with what African American and Democratic critics claim are more blacks than necessary in order to keep surrounding districts whiter and more Republican. But the Supreme Court has knocked down several of those maps. So this is a big deal. And even Justice Clarence Thomas voted in favor of wiping out these gerrymandering. Also in March, the High Court demanded additional lower court review of 11 Virginia state legislature districts that Republicans designed with at least 55% black voting age populations. That followed a decision against Alabama state legislative districts in 2015. So it's good that we're doing this. It's good that we're fighting this. This is a victory. What I would like to see is the mainstream media also covering the DNC lawsuit, because the DNC is screwing over progressives on the primary level. They lied and cheated and went against their own charter. I'd love to see the DNC lawsuit go to the Supreme Court. Will Rachel Maddow connect the dots on MSNBC with that? This is good. This is a good fight. This is a good win, because gerrymandering is awful. It's been happening for a long time. And when it's done for racial reasons, it's even worse. And this is a nice victory. But let's see the victories all across the board. This is the thing that drives me nuts about the corporate Democrats, is they'll bang the drum on this big victory, as well they should. This is a big one. But then they won't own their own shit. They won't clean up their own problems. It's like an alcoholic telling a drug addict to stop using. That's what the Democratic Party is like. I'm glad this happened. I'm glad they got this win, and I'm glad that there's people pushing this on a legal level and getting this into the Supreme Court, because Supreme Court cases typically get a lot of news. I'm glad USA Today is reporting this. My job, what I'm trying to do here, is get the left to wake up. Get the left to wake up. So people on the left that are like, yeah, big victory in North Carolina, go, yeah, awesome. And we need the same equality on the Democratic side in their own primary. They can't take tax dollars to run a primary and then say, oh, we're a private corporation, we get to do that. They can't take donor money and then intentionally, as was evidenced by the Podesta emails, block out somebody like Bernie, because they'll do it again. They'll do it to Tulsi Gabbard or Nina Turner. Anybody that starts running, anyone that starts running, they'll do it to. Any progressive. So this is great. Right after you tell people, go, this is a great victory, go, yeah, and now we need the DNC lawsuit. We need to get that happen. That needs to win. If we need to push that to the Supreme Court, so be it. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for supporting the show. The like, the subscribes, sharing it on your social media really, really helps. And all you Patreon backers, you're phenomenal. Also, if you want to, I'm starting to do more live shows. I'm not traveling as much. I'm doing a lot in LA. If you're in the LA area, if you go to grahamelwood.com, you can see all the places that I'm performing.